I learned a lot about the scrutiny of the position and the the day-to-day, the balance of managing 25 players, a coaching staff, and all getting in a direction to try to get better on the field and win more games. It was a great learning experience for me to, whether it's in-game management is part of the learning, in the clubhouse, handling players and staff. There's a lot of learning. Dealing with the media on an everyday basis was a learning experience, and the grind of the season, and specifically our kind of season, as many things were thrown my way. I felt like I learned the ability to deal with a lot of things on my plate, some positive and some gut-wrenching when you go through some of the tragedies that we went through in real life with on our team, as well as the up and down season. So I learned a ton that is only going to make me better. It's made me tougher. It's made me stronger. It's made me more determined to turn this team around in a more positive direction that'll produce more wins moving forward and get us back to the championship caliber team that the Valley deserves.
The frustrating thing is that this roster hasn't changed a whole lot, and through 07 and through a month of 08, it was 30 games over 500, and since then it's been about 30 games under 500. So I think it suggests we have a lot of ingredients here to win. We need to make some improvements in the offseason. And, we talk a lot, especially we've been meeting all day. I mean, some of it is the actual people that are on our roster, and the environment that we have around it, that we can create from front office to A.J. and his staff to the players. Because, I think for the better part of, a year plus, we've just been a team that seems to find a way to lose more than we should. And, in order to win, to answer your question, we've got to reverse that. And because a lot of these guys have been part of a team that led the league in wins. So it's been done. They've done it. We're in a bad habit of losing. That we need to stop that cycle. As I've said all along, I mean, by himself, he deserves a great benefit of the doubt. What he's done for this organization. Our risk is a repeat of 09. We're a decent chunk of our payroll. We just have a player who's hurt most of the year. Now, all signs point towards that not happening again. He had the surgery, he feels good. But we won't be able to see him really throw off a mound before we make the decision. And, we have to make a few decisions related to our rotation to get ready for next year. So he's issue number one for a lot of reasons, not the least of which what he's done for the organization. And, we'll I don't know if we're going to use all the time, but we've talked to his agent, so I think they know generally where it is, and we'll see if there's much of a discussion or if it's just a matter of whether we exercise the option or not. He's you go to the upside. If Brandon Webb is back and pitching like he has, that changes the look of our team in a major way. I think he's probably done here. I mean, he pitched very well for 3 years. I think, some of what this year showed us, this was a tough year for a lot of people and how they dealt with it. And Doug, which is not totally surprising, was fairly focused on his contract. So we'll let him explore that. I mean, right now we're just trying to get better. And, I think at this point there's a pretty big gap in what we might want to do and what he thinks is out there. And I think it's probably going to lead us in a different direction. I
absolutely feel like the ingredients are here to to build from. You know, what goes on in a season like this is very frustrating for everybody. Everybody external that watches our team, everybody internal that does a lot of work to try to shift the cycle that Josh was talking about. And you know, of course, I mean, do we have some excuses as to how this season turned sour? We do. We had some injuries. We had a lot of change. We had a lot of turmoil amongst our team. But the real reason why we got to this point to where we are now is we didn't play good enough baseball, and it's the execution of playing better baseball that's going to lead to better results. I mean, obviously, are there going to be personnel changes? Yes. So there's every year to year there are personnel changes. But what I saw most from our team is we had a number of very good individual performances that we had a hard time directing towards team success. And the more that we can do that, the more the wins will show up. Reestablishing our identity and our standards is critical to building a foundation to build more wins. Would a healthy Webb have helped? Of course. Would a healthy Jackson helped? Of course. Would a better performance by some of our players that got off to bad first halves have helped? Of course. But and the reality is, where are we going to go from here? And I feel like the core group that's here and some of the positives that we were able to achieve this season, whether it's the emergence of Miguel Montero, the development of a lot of young relievers in the bullpen that had to go through some lumps to get to that point, is very positive. Throw on top of that some key off-season strategies that to make us better. We absolutely can turn this around.